Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to shut this blind. It's a little bright on my face. Good morning. Hey, y'all. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to give everybody a second to hop on, and hopefully we will have a good turnout. Y'all, normally what I do is I send a reminder, and I forgot to do that. So hopefully everyone checked their post this morning. Maybe you all can see me. Okay, there we go. I feel like it's not as bright now. So let me make sure I'm recording this, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Y'all, listen, at the very bottom of your screen, there is a chat feature. You can click it. It's like a little bubble with the ... If you click on that, you can actually type. Like if you have questions as I go through everything. And I think we're good to go. We're going to go ahead. Actually, I have 1 minute, so I'll let everyone, if we have any more participants showing up today. Just so you know, I always record our live calls for those who work. That way I can, during the hours that we do the live calls, and then I send it via email as well as post it on the following day's morning thread so that everyone has the opportunity. No one misses out on the live call. I mean, that would not be fair, and thank God for technology that we can record these things. I have a lot to cover today, but before I get started, I truly want everyone just to take one big deep breath, like inhale, exhale. Listen to me. I have every client under the sun in this round and in my previous rounds. I have the one who has tried it all and nothing has worked. I have the mama who is sleep deprived, the woman who is working, burning it at both ends, the lady who is unfamiliar with technology and didn't even realize this program would require all of this. I have women in this round who know what whole foods are and they know how to eat whole foods. I have people who have never heard of the words whole foods. I have those who know what gluten is and how to avoid it. I have those who are like, I don't even know what gluten is. So I say all that to say your situation is not unique. If you can think it, I've probably heard it. And here is the bottom line and what I want you to rest in. You are not required to show up today. You're not required to show up this week and know anything. Like, you're not required to know anything. All that is required of you is a positive mindset and the readiness to make a massive change in your life. I can teach you all those other things, but I can't make you be committed. Okay, that comes from within you. And as bad as I want it for you, as deeply as I want it for you, I cannot make that change in you. You have to have that willingness and that readiness. You obviously are, or you would not be here. Okay, but during the first week, with all of the information that you're hit with, I know that it's easy to feel that overwhelm and like just want to throw in the towel. Don't. You're not required to be perfect. In fact, I don't want your perfect. I just want your effort. I want your progress. Okay, that means more to me than anything. I don't know a person out there, even the creator of this program, who is living life perfectly. You need to rest in that, and you need to break down those walls and those ideas that you have to be perfect, because you don't. It is not attainable, y'all. It is not realistic. It is not out there. It does not exist. And so progress is what we focus on in this program. I truly remember 100% what the first week of this program felt like for me. I literally cried. Not an all-out sob, but I stood in my kitchen and thought, how will I ever figure this out? I didn't know how to cook. I mean, I remember calling my dad when I was in college, and I was like, how do I cook corn on the cob? The easiest thing that you could probably cook. How do I cook corn on the cob? You put the water in the pot, you put the corn in there, and you boil it. Like, it was not difficult. Spaghetti. I could cook spaghetti, but I wasn't even great at that. Y'all, if I can do this, if Crystal Jones can do this, you can do this. Is it going to take time? Yep. Is it going to take meeting the challenge cheek to cheek? Yep. Is it going to take forethought? Yep. But you can do it. And you just got to continue extending grace to yourself and reminding yourself that I don't expect you to be perfect, and you don't need to expect that of yourself. Okay. I was nervous for so many reasons when I started this program. I'd never done a program before. I had always just relied on my own knowledge and what I knew. And as I began this program, I realized I didn't know jack squat. I didn't. I did not go to school to be a nutritionist. What I knew, I just knew from different ideas and theories out there, like, do this, do that. And chances are that's probably where you are as well. And I want you to absorb all of the knowledge and the education that you can from this program. It will change your life. So you've probably wondered by now, why on earth did I wait until Thursday to do this call? Here's why I wait. You have to dig in a little bit and get your mind rolling. And then I step in and I explain, and you're like, oh my gosh, aha, I kind of get it now. If I would have hit you with all the things on Monday, I feel like you would have been so overwhelmed on day one. So I typically do a pre-recorded, like a live, just word of encouragement, kind of hit a few things, and then let you dive in. And you all have done great so far. Like, you're already posting macros, and they are like, most of you are spot on. That's incredible. That is incredible. And if you've not done that yet, who cares? It is okay. You're going to get there. I didn't expect you to post this week at all. So you all are doing great. If you have questions as I chat, if you will please put those in the chat feature, and I will circle back around and answer those. But I just want to remind you all to trust the process. Thousands, 100,000 women have been where you are and are on the other side of this initial starting point, and they are reaping the fruit of this program. I want that for you, okay? But I want you to be committed. I want you to know that when it gets hard, you're going to stay committed. So what I want to start with, and I literally could spend a week on each of these topics, I want to chat about the strategies that we implement in the Faster Way to Fat Loss, okay? And again, I could spend a week on each topic. And I will continue educating you in our live calls. We will have a live call next Monday, and then we'll have one in week 3. I do a pre-recorded call in 4, a pre-recorded call in 5, and then we have our wrap-up call in week 6. So that just gives you a timeline of the live calls. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you want to. That is where I post education that I can't really go into depth about, because I am a little limited on the things that I can say in the group, because I work for a company and I have to say what, like, there are things, I guess, that I can't share. So what I do is I try to do a lot of education on Instagram. I do it on Facebook too, but Instagram is a little bit more of my sweet spot, like what I'm better at. If you don't have Instagram, don't, stress out about that. I try to post my stories that, if you're not familiar with Instagram, I'll show you real quick, but at the top, you'll see the stories, and you may have to update your Instagram, but that is where I try to educate you, because it's like little video clips. I also upload it though to my Facebook, and so that's here at the top on Facebook, but I don't always get all of them uploaded to Facebook. Quite frankly, it's a pain in my tail. So I mostly educate on Instagram, so definitely follow along there. Check my post each day. I try to post something daily. Sometimes it's a word of encouragement. Sometimes it's just, some education. So again, starting out, the number one thing that is most beneficial and is at the bottom of our pyramid is whole foods nutrition. If there's anything that you could start with, I would start with whole foods nutrition. Get the junk out of your diet, okay? Again, I don't mean perfection. I mean progress, all right? But if you really minimize those processed foods, those boxed foods, those prepackaged foods, for years we've heard eat Subway, okay? And I'm not downing Subway. But Subway, if you think about it, is processed. We're eating bread and deli meat, okay? Now, is that a healthier option compared to some other things? Probably. But the program, Faster Way to Fat Loss, revolves around whole foods and getting gluten and dairy out of your diet as much as possible. If you did those three things starting out, you're going to begin to see inflammation go down. You're going to begin to feel better because you're getting nutrients that you are meant to get. It is no joke when you think back, like eat what your grandmother taught you to eat. My grandmother, if we think back to that, it's eat your fruits and your veggies. That is not a, crazy thought. And yet we as Americans have overcomplicated the process of our diets. And now we eat mainly foods that are man-made, y'all, that are like, don't come from the ground. God didn't intend us to eat them. And we thrive off of, we don't thrive, but that's what we crave is what I should say. We actually are not thriving when we're consuming those foods. You will learn over time how to implement more whole foods. It is a process. I have been doing this 1.5 years, and I've shared this many times. I feel like we're now at a place where I have not only restructured my diet, we have restructured our children's diets, where I'm not buying Doritos and candy bars, and even it has truly been pivotal, okay? But it has taken time, lots of time. Lots of frustration on my end, where my husband may not be on board and not really understanding in the beginning why diet is so, the magnitude of it and how it changes our health and wellness long term. Now he's on board. Does that mean that he doesn't stop and get his things that he likes here and there and I don't know about it? No, but he understands and values my passion for it. And now, and that didn't happen overnight, y'all. I would send him to the grocery store and he'd still come home with Oreos. And I'm like, this is not okay. Like, it's not about not having those things. It's about, I know those things are a weakness for me. And so if they're in my buggy and they come to my house, guess what? In a moment where Crystal did not plan well, guess what she's going to do? When she's hungry, she's going to dive in for those doggone Oreos because we're human. We are flesh. And willpower is not all there is to this. It's knowing your triggers. It's knowing that maybe I just don't need to have those foods in my house, even for my children. Okay. And so it has taken me a lot of time to restructure my pantry, my refrigerator, and my freezer. It takes time to restructure what you eat on the daily. Give yourself grace, okay? I, again, don't expect perfection. You can't expect that of yourself. You just starting out, you can't be where I am right now because you're a beginner, most of you are. I was a beginner. I didn't get where I am overnight, and that's what people miss in this program and in life in general. They see someone who's successful, who's doing all these things, and they're like, why can't I be there? Because you've got to start. You've got to be a beginner. You've got to give yourself a lot of grace. And you've got to give yourself a lot of showing up every single day, facing the struggle, getting it wrong, failing, and pulling through the drive-thru because your meal tastes like a paper plate, and then getting back up the next day and doing it all over again and trying all over again, okay? Whole foods is what will make you feel the best. If they're whole, they're real, they're nutrient dense, that's a good starting place for you. Maybe work on that this week, the rest of this week. Number 2, we track macronutrients. And I know I encouraged you earlier this week just to kind of scan, like, what am I eating? FYI, if you don't know, there is a scan on MyFitnessPal. There is, and you need to familiarize yourself with this. So when you go into your MyFitnessPal and you're trying to add your food, your screen will look something like this. And please know, because I did not know this, there is a scan code right here. You see the barcode at the top? If you tap that, you're going to be able to scan the barcode on a food item. So let's say if you're eating blueberries, I'm going to scan the barcode on my blueberries and just adjust my serving size. So I actually have, let's see, I'm going to put, I had a chicken thigh last night. So let's say it's a chicken thigh. The serving size is going to be 4 ounces. You can change that serving. Maybe you had 2 chicken thighs, so you're just going to change it to 2. Let's say you go out to a restaurant. Let's say you have a Chick-fil-A Cobb salad. If you look right here, you can type in Chick-fil-A Cobb salad. I'm going to do this one, spicy Southwest chicken salad, because it's in my log. I'm going to tap that. It pulls up the salad. I just click the little check in the upper right-hand corner, and now it's logged in MyFitnessPal for the day, okay? Most large chains, you can just search and find them there, and it logs it. And now I can see my nutrients on that salad, okay? So we track macronutrients, your carbs, your fats, and your proteins that make up your diet, and it is a huge strategy in what we do. I encourage you to track what you eat for a couple of days. You learn so much just by tracking what you would eat even prior to Whole Foods Nutrition, prior to the Faster Way to Fat Loss. You become hyper aware of what you're consuming. When you balance your macronutrients, you're able to balance your blood sugar, you're able to balance your hormones, you're able to then change your body composition. Tracking macronutrients is life-changing. It really is. Whole Foods Nutrition is life-changing. Number 3, we implement daily intermittent fasting. Fasting is a core strategy that we use throughout this entire program. Every single day, you're going to fast for 16 hours, and then we eat for 8 hours. But listen, if you have to start at a 12-hour fast and then move to 14 hours and then to 16, it's okay. Like, nobody's going to get on to you for that, okay? Give yourself grace. Work your way up to 16 hours. Fasting was the hardest part for me. It may be the easiest part for you. It was not for me. It was mental, but it was not easy for me, okay? Most of you, though, are going to start your fast right after dinner. For me, that's around 7, 8 p.m. You're going to break your fast at noon. For me, if I stop at 8 p.m., I'm going to start eating. I'm going to break my fast, literally, my break fast meal. That's what breakfast means, is going to be at noon. I'm going to break my fast with, honestly, whatever I want to break my fast with, that's whole foods that will help me meet my goals for that day. And so you'll see some guides for like a protein shake or eggs, but that's just samples. That's not like concrete, black and white, this is what you have to do. This program is truly meant for you to be flexible and eat the foods that you love, that you enjoy. So you may want to consume a shake at some point in the day. A lot of women in the beginning will have a hard time meeting all of their goals, so it may be that you make a shake. I use those collagen peptides, Vital Proteins. I'll order them on Amazon. That helps me get my protein in if I'm lacking. At this point, I do pretty good with it. But protein is usually an issue for women. You want to meet those protein goals. And so, I'll mix in, if it's a low carb day, I'll just mix in maybe like some peanut butter, some almond milk, and my collagen peptides, and maybe like a serving of blueberries on a low carb day. Regular macro day, you can pretty much put anything in your shake. So definitely, that's the kind of stuff to follow me on Instagram for, though. So I try to share like nutrition recipes, what I'm having, that kind of thing. Again, a lot of people, you can adjust your fasting window as you need. If you want to stop eating at 6 p.m. and break your fast at 10 a.m., totally fine. You can do that. It's up to you. You can stop eating at 5 p.m., break your fast whenever that would be. 9 a.m., I guess it would be. But the shorter feeding window is, the benefit of that is that you give yourself, your body, longer to burn fat and to heal. Either you are digesting or you are resting. And when your body is resting, it's able to repair and heal. You boost your energy, your immune system, and there are so many beautiful benefits to intermittent fasting besides burning fat. There are so many research studies out there about intermittent fasting. It is truly a beautiful thing. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone can fast. So if you know you have adrenal fatigue, you have a diagnosed adrenal fatigue, you don't need to do a 16-hour fast. In fact, you need to do 12 hours. Some people, that know for sure they have hypothyroidism. And I have a lot of clients who just do 16 hours, no deal, who have hypothyroidism. But if you're feeling a little off, always listen to your body. That's my motto. Y'all, you know your body best, better than me giving you rules and regulations, MyFitnessPal. I mean, this is a computer. And so listen to your body. What can I have during my fasting window? This is the number one question. The best case scenario is water. Best case scenario. And black coffee, herbal teas. Now, if you are like me, you are not about that black coffee life. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some things you can sweeten with that will make it a little bit better for you. The rule of thumb is 50 calories or under during your fasting window, no fiber. But also, you're technically not supposed to have sugar. So the best case scenario after black coffee would be nothing that is sweetened other than stevia drops, the liquid drops. You can buy them in the grocery store, and they actually have some flavors. Unsweetened almond milk, unsweetened coconut milk, or creamer, and then stevia drops. That's your best case scenario. When I started this, y'all, I measured out my Coffee Mate French vanilla creamer and didn't have more than 50 calories. That probably wasn't the best case scenario, but I had to wean myself off of it, all right? And so give yourself grace in that. I don't expect you to cut it cold turkey. You may want to. If you want to have the largest bang for your buck, cut it cold turkey. And then maybe after you break your fast, you could have the creamer that you like. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that you can't ever have that creamer again, or that you can't ever have some sort of sweetened creamer. But during your fasting window, the best case scenario is to not have anything that is sweetened with like sugar, or the sweetener you really want to stick to is stevia liquid drops, almond milk, or any kind of nut milk. Because we really want to steer clear of dairy. Now, if you're not dairy free, you can do half and half, or you can do, half and half. That's not sweetened. So, I hope that's helpful. The next thing is that we carb cycle, okay? And carb cycling, our food cycle varies from day to day. And I'm going to share that with you in just a second. I'll go in a little bit more depth about that. But when we carb cycle, it gives your, we go from low carb days. So you just did 2 low carb days. Now we're on a high carb day, 2 high carb days back to back. We depleted those glycogen stores. Now we have to refuel. We are not a low carb all the time. We deplete, we refuel, okay? And so when we deplete those glycogen stores, you're burning up that fat. But then we're going to fuel to rev up that metabolism and sustain you for those full body strength training workouts. We're revving up your hormones, your thyroid function by consuming all of those carbs. Y'all, a low carb lifestyle is not sustainable long term, and it is not good for women long term. It's going to actually create some damage to your thyroid if you do that lifestyle long term, and to your hormones. By wiping out a macronutrient, it's damaging. Number 5, we lift heavy to build lean calorie burning muscle. Now listen to me. Lifting heavy for me, lifting heavy for you, lifting heavy for Susie looks different. If you never worked out and you try to bust up in here and squat some, 100 pounds, not even practical, all right? You actually may be the person who's like, I'm not even working out right now. I just want to focus on nutrition. That's fine. You can totally do that, okay? But if you are lifting, I encourage you to lift as heavy as you can. And again, that looks different for each of us. We rev up our metabolism when we do heavy weight training, as heavy as you can go, all right? If you have an injury that prevents you from working out, again, let me say this, the least important exercise that you can do is long form cardio. Lifting is going to create calorie burning long after your sweat session ends, whereas steady state cardio does not. Number 6, we engage in cardio and in fasted cardio workouts when possible. Now, that's not going to be the case for many of you who work, unless you're a super early riser morning person, more power to you. But my motto is a workout that is done is better than one not done. So if, say you didn't get that fasted workout and you're like, well, man, should I work out today because I didn't get it done fasted? Yes, ma'am, get that workout. It don't matter. Get it done. It doesn't have to be fasted, okay? Number 7, we pair our food log with our workouts so that we have maximum results. And I don't want you to focus on, what was I going to say? I want you to focus on, there's so many layers to what we do here. It is so critical for you to have a positive mindset. If you have a day where you're like, well, I did intermittent fasting, but I didn't do whole foods nutrition, but I did track my macros, focus on what you did well as with your workouts. If you said, well, I didn't get to do all my reps today, or I didn't get in the full workout, but I got in 10 minutes, focus on that 10 minutes, y'all. I know how easy it is to focus on your losses. And since I've started this program, like when I tell you everything's changed for me, everything's changed for me. The way I view life, the way I now focus on my wins versus my losses, the way I see more positively versus negatively. I end my day by saying, you know what? I did A, B, C, and D today. Maybe I didn't get to F or whatever, E and F, but I got these 5 things done and I did them well. And I want you to focus on what you do well. As women, we have this internal dialogue where we sabotage ourselves, where it's so easier for us to focus on what we didn't get done. And I want you to defeat that and focus on your wins and have a positive mindset, okay? Number 8 is we get enough rest. I was listening to a podcast on this recently, and I literally thought for so much of my life that if I was taking a break, I was stopping or that I was quitting. Y'all, taking a nap, I thought was weak. Going to bed early was wimpy. It is vital that you rest and that you get your sleep. And through the Faster Way to Fat Loss and researching on my own, I have learned the value of rest. When you are not sleeping well, when you are going 120 miles per hour all day, every day, you're revving up that cortisol. And when your cortisol is constantly elevated, you are going to hang on to fat. You're going to increase inflammation in your body. So listen to me. We implement rest days strategically in this program on Friday and Sunday. Now, that doesn't mean sleep all day. That doesn't mean kind of take a break. And that seems so counterintuitive because of what you've heard your whole life. The exercise industry has told us to eat less, exercise more. And we're going to eat more and exercise less. We're going to bring in less stress and to live our lives with less stress, knowing how to deal with stress and to finally see results. Y'all, mamas, women, we are chronically stressed. We're business owners, employees, moms, community members, church members. We are overworking our bodies, going 120 miles per hour. We're leading ourselves to that suboptimal thyroid, adrenal fatigue. We don't want either one of those things, okay? We want to balance our hormones. We want to, be able to get and stay lean. And if you're sleep deprived or your cortisol is elevated all the time, then you are not going to be able to get and stay lean. There is no other program who is going to tell you you need rest, sister. But this program will, and you need sleep. We don't do a 6 to 7 insane workouts with a 1,200 calorie diet. Okay, that might establish some weight loss results for short term, but you'll also lose muscle. You'll be hangry, and as soon as you start eating more, you're going to gain all that weight again. So we are very strategic about what we do in this program. Number 9, you've got to maintain a positive mindset. Ask yourself multiple times a day, are my thoughts serving me well? Would I say this to my friend? Would I say this to my child? We'll say this all the time. You're ugly. Internally, you might not say it out loud. You'll say, you're ugly, you're fat, your body is not, you're not worthy, you're not capable, you're not able. This is you're overwhelming me. I don't know. Just think of all the negative thoughts that you say to yourself. Would you say those to your daughter? Would you say those to your friend? No. Why on God's green earth do we say them to ourselves? You're about to rock your own world. You're about to change your life. This is not, here's a pill, go take it, you're going to lose weight. Y'all, this program is going to change your life. And you have got to have a positive mindset. You have got to be committed and show up every single day. You've got to take one bite at a time. Peel the layer one thing at a time. You're not going to crush all those 8 things that I just said tomorrow. You're not going to, and it's okay. I want you to take one thing at a time. I want you to rest in this. This is your journey. This is not mine. I'm not the food police. I'm not going to ask to see what you had to eat each day. I just want to see your macro goals at the end of each day. And if you don't post them, I can't coach you, okay? Because I don't have anything to go by. So I will never ask like, hey, what did you eat to meet these macro? No, that is not my job. I'm not doing that, okay? But I just need you to show up so that I can coach you and encourage you. I want you to be successful, wildly successful. Monday and Tuesday are your low carb days, and you're going to consume 50 net carbs. So you're going to take your total carbs that you consume and subtract the fiber. That's your net carbs. You're actually going to strive to double fat on low carb Monday, Tuesday, because you want to make up for the calories lost in carbs by doubling up in fit fats. I'm not talking about pounds of cheese and bacon, and I'm talking fit fats, okay? Things that are healthy for you. And then you're going to nail your protein goals on Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, that's today. You're going to consume all of the fat that MyFitnessPal has allotted for you, all of the carbs, all of the protein. On Friday and Sunday, you're doing 25% less of each macronutrient. Here's how you figure that. If you are consuming, let's say, 190 grams of carbs, you're going to take 190, multiply by 0.75. When you do that, you get the goal that you need to consume. Then you're going to do that for fat. Then you're going to do that for protein, okay? So it's 25% less of each macronutrient on Friday and on Sunday. That's also a rest day, all right? On Saturday, it's your leg day, treat day. So you are going to consume all of the fat, all of the carbs, all of the protein, and you need to put your treat in your macros, all right? So if you're going to have 2 donuts, plug it in your MyFitnessPal, and then eat whole foods the rest of the day. Or if you're going to have pizza, or if you're going to have French fries, but you're just not having all those things, right? It's not a cheat day, it's a treat day. So don't go crazy on me, okay? Don't be surprised if you feel like crap the first time that you have a treat on treat day after cleaning up your diet. So it's common. That's on a Saturday. All right, there's a few things I want to chat with you about. housekeeping items. Make sure that you have access to the comprehensive guide. This is in the portal when you log in. I actually printed mine and put it in a binder so I could highlight almost every single question that you can think of. You can find in that guide. It is a great reference. Print it out. And you saw my food log for this week or for next week. You have access to that. That's just to give you some ideas and some tips, okay? About the Facebook group each morning, you know this by now. You'll have some instructions. It's typically there about 6 a.m. It'll tell you what day we are in the food cycle. Every single night, you need to post your MyFitnessPal chart, your nutrient chart, as a comment in the comment section. That's where I will coach you. If you post at the top of the page, your post may get pushed down and lost. So you will also see a shift in commenting. Most of you post your macro charts after you eat. Totally normal. And that makes the most sense. But after 7 p.m., you will not see me posting anymore. I will be posting the following morning and throughout the day. My family's home at that time too, and I want to be with them. They need me, I need them, and I know that you all understand that. And so after 7 p.m., if you post, just know I will comment on it, and Marissa will comment on it the following morning, okay? I really struggle with boundaries with this, but I have to for the sake of my family, right? And just know your questions are vital to me. Y'all, I want your success. Your success is my success. But just know that if you post after 7 p.m., it will be commented on the next day. And the majority of you are going to comment after 7 p.m. because you're not done eating until 8 p.m. So it makes total sense. And that's fine. Go ahead and post them. I'll comment the next morning. If a low macro day, you could write out beside your goals what you're supposed to consume. Like if you on a low macro day only consume 190 carbs, if you could somehow write that out on your chart before you post it, that would help me so much because I have to calculate all of those and it's very time consuming. So if you can, if you can't, I promise it's okay. If you're not tech savvy and you're like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now, please don't stress that. I'll figure it out. But it just makes it easier if you could do that. If I get cut off, just a few things I want to close with. And you all, I'll see you again on the page today. Ask questions there. So if I get cut off, know that I am it cut me out of time. So if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you do not do a low macro Saturday, Sunday. You do regular instead. You do not do 50 net carbs on a low carb day. You will do 100 to 175 net carbs, okay? That's if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. If you have hypothyroidism, if you have adrenal fatigue, I encourage you to start with a 12-12 fast, bump up to a 16, okay? And then let's see, don't jump on the scale. None of you. We took out the end of the program's weigh in. We go by measurements and we go by before and after pictures. If you want to measure in a couple of weeks to see where your progress is headed, let me know. You can do that. If you're not seeing progress in a couple of weeks, let's chat, but you should be, okay? And then before and after photos. This program provides hope for those who have tried everything out there, y'all. This program helps you understand how to have a healthy relationship with food and eating. It is flexible. Your body needs more fuel, not less. It needs more of the right foods at the right times for the right reasons. You can't restrict. That's not what we're about here, okay? The faster way to fat loss will help you do things that you never thought possible. Your body will change in ways you never thought possible, okay? I am just so excited for you. You are already crushing it, and we're just getting started. This is only the beginning. I can't wait to watch you thrive. I'll see y'all live Monday, and then I'll see you again on the page today. Y'all rock out.